This is Divine Sunshine coming to you with a channeled message. I keep on hearing, what do you want, union? When do you want it now? Like we're chanting. I spoke to Kathy D and I told her I could see the vision of me like holding a microphone and asking that, a megaphone, and saying, that, and there's a couple of divine feminines with their now they're showing me a blend, divine feminines and divine masculines, standing there with their signs saying, I love you, you can do this, I want union now. And also, I've seen one in the crowd, I told her yesterday, is talking about it, and you're hot. And I was like, really? We're not here to give about the sexism about him. I say, but he is. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Carry on. Keep on marching with your sign stating that that's who you are. And so it's very important that we understand that in this walk, we're getting close. This is the time for manifestation has been very saturated with the energies of understanding that you think it instantly appears. April Williams, we were talking about that the other day before we had did the regular playground experience, and stating that he's like, you can think about your divine counterpart and their name appear. You can think of a color blue, and blue something will come up and you say, oh my god, they go blue. So we're at that point that is very crucial that we manage our minds and what things we think on and what things we linger on for long periods of time that really no longer serves us. And that's again why that Gemini moon came along, to be able to help shift some of that stuff and kind of shift it as well, those things that no longer serve us as well. I thought I had something over here I could reach. No longer serve us as well. It's cold here in the shy. It's in the 80s, so I got the air conditioning on, and sometimes my sinuses is like, I can't deal with that, and so it kind of does. But it's either or. So divine sunshine, although I'm sun, I don't like to be hot, because if I get hot, it get evil. I can't do it. I try to. I'm going to work on that. That's something that I got to work on. Had several things of happening that I wanted to report on, but that human resonance that came in, it got me and it knocked me out. For me being so sensitive and so empathic, I could feel it happening within the atmosphere. And here Saturday we had like a thunderstorm, and it really, I could feel the lightning, because that's affects the electromagnetic fields and things that's being released into the atmosphere, and it was intense, and it was extra electrons or whatever thing that was being released, and I could feel it, and I had the worstest headache. It knocked me out. I was like, oh my god. Okay. And did it, and I was like, oh my god. I didn't want to take any kind of medicine about it. I lied down. Spirit told me, it's like, go get some ice to kind of help that feeling, and it did, and I placed it right over my sinuses as well. And so it was just like really intense. I mean, I had felt it before. I went to go see the DM. I felt it before, and when I left him, it became like, oh, I said, oh my god, no. I'm like a person like, not now, like a superhero. Don't do it now, don't do it now. So I call it, when I have those things, those are like massive down loads that I'm getting, moving of the mind and changing and shifting some things. Like now I can put my hand up here and I can just still feel the heat. It still resonates for a while. So what's some things in dreams? Dreams are being very important. You probably are doing a lot of dreaming. A lot of dreaming. They handle a lot of things that's happening to you subconsciously. You're getting rid of those things that way. You're doing the work that way. A lot of astral travel. You also find yourself doing on those levels, getting rid of those things as well. One of the dreams I had that was talking about was using my mother and father, was their twin flames, and so using that, we were going to a house and around the old neighborhood, and they were selling the house around the corner. And I was looking at the house, and I was like, this house looks real like my childhood house that we grew up. Why are you all looking at this house? It was people all lined up inside of the living room, waiting. And my dad was like, it's going to move fast. It's going to move fast. Let's just stay here and just kind of see what it's about. And I'm like standing there looking at them. It's like, what do we actually need to see what's about? Because it seems like to me it's the same house. It's nothing different. And so, my dad and mom was like that. And I said, listen, I got to go. First of all, I got to go pee. Second of all, I got to go eat. And I said, and I'm tired, and this line ain't going to move fast enough. So what it's telling me again, those of you all, when you all do come into union and you all come to that place of, when you come together, it's like home. Watch that you do not still sign up for the same old. And you know what I'm talking about, the same song and dance, that you really look at it. Me being a leader, I seen it from the first note. I was like, you all are signing up to do the same stuff all over again. Let's not do this again. You got a chance to buy a new house, which means to be a new home, a new relationship, to try some new things out. Don't go and follow the same template that you had like before. That's not going to really help you all ascend and twin flames to go on to the next thing, because I kept on saying, and then me also knowing that, I was like, well, you're still in the process of some things, information that you still need emotionally. I represented that, some things that you still got to eliminate emotionally, even when you all come together. And when I say I got to eat, and I say I'm tired. So you got to learn how to kind of put some things to rest. That's what I picked up from there. I want to also say, I'm trying to go back through my notes about some things that I said I wanted to state. That was one of the divine, excuse me for the us, because I'm thinking. The Divine Masculine had bought me a song that was saying "Slow Down" by her and Marley. Those two those two songsters, they sing. It's called the same "Slow Down." I put it in my community tab. They bought that to me Monday, and the words is "Slow down, let me love you." That is two folds of levels. One of them is that the divine masculine is telling the divine feminine in the 3D, you need to kind of slow down. Let me love you. You're moving so fast. You're doing so many things. I can't really kind of reach and get to you. So the divine masculine wants you to kind of like slow it down, whether it's energetically. I picked up also you're throwing a lot of energies towards him as far as whatever things, the work that you're doing as well. But don't forget that while you're doing all this work, to remember to also love the divine masculine that's within yourself, and the divine masculine that's on the outside. So in the 3D, so you're spiritual. So how are you loving your divine masculine? You letting him slow down. It's like even in your thinking, let your thinking kind of resonate in that love space, and then kind of vibe with that same energies as in your emotions as well. Those are the two things that you have to kind of come from, that understanding. Another thing that's understanding is this. I do get those divine counterparts that are in karmic situations. I've got kind of an experimenting of an understanding of how you are not lured, I don't like that, how you kind of fall into really resonating with this divine karmic. For those of you I don't understand, it's like, I don't understand how did they even get into that. I don't even understand how they got all of this, how they can even decide to go over there and go with that. In my experience that I've had, even with interacting with divine masculines, if they are really kind of awakening and kind of really at their highest heights of really resonating and getting into that divinity, there is a pull. It is a there is a pretty much a vibration that vibes from them. Is like, oh my God, you're so happy that somebody kind of like gets you on that level, and they kind of understand you on another level, and the conversation and the energy just flows. It kind of lures you in. It kind of feels like, oh my God, this is it. This is such an ease. This is so much of a different feel than it does with the divine masculine. It's that intoxication, that selling point. It's like, oh my God. So then you sit there and you compare your divine counterpart to this divine karmic that comes in, which is a divine twin flame as well. Where they get caught up in, and I can see from my experience, is that intoxication, that entwinement of those two energies that's coming together. And you're saying it don't have that rockiness like it has with that other one. It's this flow, like, oh, I could stay with this forever. This is it. This is the bee's knees. This is a bag of chips and hot sauce. However, I can feel intuitively that after a while, that feeling that you feel, that you get into at the beginning, can turn in and be sour, because again, that is the plan of the divine or source, that you get together. That feeling that you feel when you step into it is not of one that you're supposed to keep on feeling with that person. Now, of course, you have that telling me you got free will. You can decide to say, hey, I'm going to hang on in there. I'm going to make this the best way it can be. I have really, truly released it. I got confirmation. However, those of you all that's saying, something about this, I don't feel fully sold on it, will come to the point that like a roller coaster ride. I always joke with April. It's going to have that. It's going to start out real like, oh yeah, this is fun, and then all of a sudden it's going to start speeding up to you like, oh my God, where we going with this? And it's going to have those twists and turns as you like, well, you know what? I kind of want off this ride. You also can look at it as another way, as an example they brought to me, my guys, was it's almost like you and the divine counterpart come and walk into a room, go to a party, and you all walk into the room together. The idea is when you come into that party that you two are going to walk out together. However, the divine counterpart goes over there and gets stuck with a conversation with somebody that, is vibing, is really well. Like you over there talking to somebody else, like sometimes too. Like, hey girl, how you doing? You're like, okay, I could entertain this for a while. I could talk to you for a while or whatever. The divine masculine gets, or the divine counter, or divine feminine, whoever gets caught up with this conversation with the divine karmic, and it's flowing. It's like, oh my God, we vibing well. It's just kind of coming together well. Our conversation flows, and before you know it, you looking over the shoulder of the person you talking to, and you're like, well, to me this conversation is over with. I'm just talking to you, and that's it. Not saying that you're trying to like friends, family, or whatever like that. It's not like another counterpart or somebody that you're interested in. However, when the divine counterpart that you were with, that you came to the party, keeps on talking with this person, they keep on vibing, they keep on getting this synergy of energy with each other, and then it leads into a dance. And how that came to me, that song, like say, let the music play, he won't get away. And how they say, first you came together, it was a dance, and then it turned into something else. And then before you know it, they dancing with that person for a long time. And you finish with your conversation. You standing there in the room, and you're like, okay, it's over with. Are you going to kind of dance your way back to me? Are you going to find your way back this way? And you're like, oh my God, look like they about to kind of lead the party together. Where the other counterpart gets kind of hung up in is that not understanding that conversation or whatever that energy is temporary. They get lost in it. You understand that when you in that kind of situation, is for you to just be able to just interact with other people, learn, let it go, and then make your way back to each other so you all can leave the party or leave life or whatever together. The divine counterpart that gets locked in that entanglement with that karmic energy doesn't understand that. They're getting mesmerized and intoxicated by that whole energy and vibe that's being sent off from the karmic, not knowing that, you know, this is not going to last forever. I know that from my conversation. You know, a lot of times I would have to interacting with certain divine masculines that I say, ooh, we have this kind of connection, we kind of vibe, and understanding that, you know, they're saying, okay, that person we vibe, but that's not the divine masculine. I can understand how those divines get caught up with the karmic divine person, because they're like, we're gelling, it's much easier, it's a much easier flow. But again, you still have to have that insight and understanding that if you do call in this soulmate or this high functioning soulmate for you, that those that really want to continue on and have move on into physical union, you must understand that you've got to go in it with the sights of an objective that's saying, I'm getting out of it what I need. I can see how the entanglement of those two energies can suck you in, and how you can become like locked in and stay in there. That is where it becomes dangerous. If you want to come out of it, I'm telling you that you've got to watch and tread very lightly. You got to do like my grandmother said, you got your hand in the lion's mouth, and you got to work real carefully to get out of it. If that is the kind of setup some of you all might be thinking about. But again, if you're carrying that sign and you're one of those people that's out there say, I want union, when do I want it? What do you want union? When do you want it now? I would not suggest that you do that, because I can see how you can get sucked in there. And I'm telling you, once you get in there, those of you all that don't, it's going to hit a sour note. Now, those of you all that will it to be, that say, oh, no, I want to stay in this. This is working for me and my other divine counterpart. You know, I could just be friends with them. I could be at a distance. Then because of you willing it so, and because you're manifesting for it to turn a different way, that you're saying, I'm all right, we can keep this going. Then, hey, you are creating for that new space or for that new energy to kind of go between that infinity sign, for that to keep on going, that entanglement between you and that person to keep on going. Okay, that is up to you. But those of you all that know that you're not going in there with integrity, or not knowing that you're not really fully sold on it, you like, I'm just going in here because my ego say I need somebody, or you know, I'm doing this because my family's telling me I want to do this, and this is not really what my heart's desire is truly. I want to let you know that it's going to turn sour at some point, because you're not going in there with integrity. Those people that say, I don't want to be with mine, and I'm saying this from a part that I truly don't want to be, because I think I'm very happy with the person that I have as my higher soul functioning soulmate, then they're coming from an honest place. I don't have any ill will against my divine masculine, but again, or divine feminine. But if you're coming from a different point of view, and you're saying, I'm going in here because you have alternative motives as to why you're stepping into this, because they give me power, because they give me leveling up, let me see my family see me in a different term, in a different way. They respect me because I'm in this relationship. Okay, now we got what's called a problem. You're not coming from a place of integrity. Now, if you're going in there and you say, I just want to learn from this person honestly, I want to kind of get to learn how to conversate with my divine counterpart or my divine masculine, I say in my case, just so I can have that bounce back in that conversation, and kind of know how I can use those tools that I've learned and resources I've learned from this interaction with this person to move over and to apply it to when I get with my divine masculine. Whole different story. But I'm telling you, I can see, for those of you all say, I can't understand, there is a, if you say a romance, for lack of word, again, it's intoxicating, it's kind of lures you in, and I can see how a person, you can get locked in. Thank God that I've kind of built from me having that experience with the Catalyst twin before. I waited a while because I thought that he was really truly the one. And I mean, if I would tell you, I waited almost in the double digits of years waiting for him. So if I can do that and know in my sights, and maybe that's because of my mom, through spiritual DNA, she always knew she wanted that. She would be able to wait for him. And that kind of reserve of her telling me, and she's passed it on to me, that I can do that, see myself saying, okay, I could talk to somebody else, or I could be with somebody, or not. I'm not being with anybody, talking to them in that vein of friendship and understanding, like my soulmates, my soul family, my friends, and things of that nature. Get my 8 of Cups. That means get my love feel from that away, and still be like a person looking over their shoulder and still looking at divine masculine. This interaction here, I still want you. A lot of times my divine master, I call it, he sends people to keep me baby. I call it you babysit. Because sometimes I can sit there and be thinking about him. It's like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And then all of a sudden, just before I'm about to go like spin orbit off the top, my wheels get to spinning out of control, he'll send somebody, like somebody from my soul family. It's like, hey, what's happening? Or I'll talk to somebody I ain't talked to in a while. I said, oh, you sending me a babysitter? Okay, really? Okay, all right. So I'll go on ahead and play with this person. It's like, yeah, because I'm trying to work on something, and you throwing your energies. I can feel you saying, you trying to see what am I doing, and that. So he'll send babysitters to kind of just talk to me, or projects, or my higher self is saying project between them two, which he is my higher self. We talked about that before, how you switch. Your essence is his higher self, and he is my higher self. We swap. And so a lot of times, like, she needs that so she can stop concentrating on me, and I can go on ahead and do the work that I've got to do over here. So a lot of times that also happens too. So you'll get like people, like projects and things will keep you busy until then. But I'm at the same time still, while I'm talking or doing these projects, I'm watching you. I'm still got my eye on you. I still want you. That same thing with them and the divine counterparts. At the same time, they still, you know, if they really sucked in deep into that karmic situations, they kind of forget. They at some time point, try to have their mind concentrated on that person, but just like when you at a party and your significant others talk to somebody else, you still like, I still got my eye on. Okay, I see she going to go get punched. Okay, there she go. I still, yeah, that, okay, I might be talking, but so that's still how that they kind of show me that's just still how we kind of do that dance as divine counterparts. So again, if we want that union, we've got to kind of pull out of that entanglement that we have with that. A lot of these divine masculines or divine counterparts, some of them are clearing because of family issues that they have. I want to make sure that I'm all the things that I had said. Low power, that's fine. That I had touched upon. I did the dance. When do we want it? I said about the chant. Hold on one second. I want to check my notes to make sure. Okay, gee. Yeah, I talked about that. That was old one. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about that they hear about to me. It's just pretty much the remembering to not bring in the old stuff. It's got confirmation with that. Remember to slow down and let them love you. And it goes both ways. Understanding the dance that we do and how you can't get caught up into the karmic ways. So that means you've got to right now, you don't want, it was another thing I'm saying, while they're in separation, you do not want your divine counterparts to come back until they work out that distortion. Please watch the Playground Experience. We have our guest on there, which is David, a Soul Mission, and he talks about that distortion and how you wrestle with somebody's distorted self, and how when you are not ready, yourself and them, how that distorted self that comes to show up could just really wreak havoc on some stuff that you have already have built, and you're ready with themselves. So if one person shows up and they're still in that distortion, they can really F up some stuff. So you really want them where they have gotten and released all of the things that have that's within them. And that's why when you're doing a separation, it is good for you to go work on yourself and stop concentrating on what the divine counterpart is doing in there, because you really want them at a point that they are whole. So that again, if you're saying what we want, union, when do you want it? Now. In the meantime, you should be working on yourself until they appear. This is we have June 5th. I talked about that before. June 5th is a very important time too as well. I've said that in several other videos as well, because when we move into that June 5th, it's supposed to be eclipse, and we move into that is right now with everything that we have learned, that we have shifted and we have transformed ourselves into. It is time to show what we have actually learned as twin flames, or you and the thing, because we don't know what the union is going to show up as. Will we come in the summer? Could be union with you going into your business or into your mission, or with your divine counterpart, or find a union with your friends and relationships. It doesn't matter. It matters as far as what you have put out there in the universe, as far as what you want to come together that you have not achieved until then. And so you'll be able to practice what you preach, what you have ministered to yourself. I also see myself, and then I'll leave it from there. I see myself as a butterfly. I was doing my meditation. I was trying to practice, like April said, meditate without closing my eyes, and I seen like my screen on my computer turned black, and I could see like my eyes turned into like the little eyes like on a butterfly, and the antennas, and then my arms spread it out and they drop down into wings. We are transforming. We are now at that stage where my wings look strong, which lets me know that us, as in our emotions, they're getting strong. They're strong, and we're ready to now take flight, because as you know, with the butterfly process, they cocoon, and then after they do the cocooning, they come out of the chrysalis, and then they gotta wait till the wings pump up with blood. That's what was going on through April and May. We were pumping our blood. Now June, we are full-blown adult butterflies, ready to take off and take flight and go get nectar and go things from flower to flower, help to cross-pollinate, help to be light workers, help to help others, and seeing the light about some things about what we're doing. And so now it is time, proving time, of really showing how you've had this union with yourself, because you got to have union with self first. Are you still going to have to practice on some things? Hell yeah, they said. Most definitely. You're going to have to practice. You're going to find out again still some things that you thought you had worked on. It still is in the workings, okay? And some of you all is still going to be dress rehearsal continue. It's like, yeah, okay, take that out. Take that line out the script. Put that back in. That philosophy didn't work out. That didn't flow as much as we thought it was going to be. So, again, like I say, June is showtime. And you're going to still, just like any show, you can see, are you hitting the marks? Is the people that you got, that your key players, do they still need to be playing now? Do you need to say, you know what, we might have to kind of audition for somebody else to play the part? Get that understudy. Because they ain't working. They ain't hitting their marks like they supposed to. They forgetting their lines. We thought they was a strong actor to play the part, but they ain't quite working out for us. Or that music don't seem like it gets the audience going like you want to, or the scenes don't look like, see, it don't pop like I thought it would. So you're going to have to kind of still work on it and watch who you bringing to be your audience as well. Who you bringing out to see the show with you. Some of them don't need to be seeing what's going on. They ain't ready. They ain't ready to be your cheerleaders, because you don't need to hear nobody heckling or booing. Life is a stage. So it's like, if you know they're going to be a heckling and booing, maybe you need to get something, say, excuse me, security, get the angels or somebody else, ask Archangel Michael, say you might have to escort that person out of my life. I escort them out the auditorium because they ain't ready. I thought they was, but they up there whispering and talking to folks and telling them about how much did you pay? Did you like the show? And you're like, wait a second, that's one of my daggone friends. They're from way back when, and they up there, trying to put people bug in their ear about what I'm doing. And say, okay, well, maybe this ain't gonna work out. this ain't gonna work out right here. Maybe we need to find us another kind of way for us to express ourselves. Okay, very interesting what they're bringing to me, but this showtime is coming. Okay, it's coming, and we gotta start proving about what we learned. All right, we did 30 minutes on that one. Hope in my understanding you kind of get what I'm saying. Those of you that's on the level, you will understand. But that's the channel message that I received. That's what we got to be working with now, of understanding if this is what we saying we want union, when do we want it now? We've got to start acting as if that is exactly what we want. Okay? All right, until next time, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste. Namago. Love you. And make sure that you watch that playground experience where we have guest David of Soul Mission on there. We got 2 good bonus things on there. We've got also meditations on there as well. And he's also uploading a video. Thank you for that confirmation. They said the spirits are saying, please go watch David. He's got some good stuff on his end too of Soul Mission. Put Soul Mission in. And I'll probably, when it does upload, I'll put it in there as well, letting you know that he's got some good stuff on there. And he might even have a healing on there. I don't know what he's cooking up over there, but whatever it is good. So run over there and see. All right, then, as always, love you and enjoy your Memorial Day weekend too as well.